Okay, guys, so I'm gonna get started. My name is Jamie Beck. I'm a double diamond in the company. I've been doing this business for about 5 years now. I started when I was completely broke and negative in two bank accounts, about to become homeless with my four kids. I'm a single mom of four. At the time, I was going to school full time to get my master's degree and working full time when I found out I had a tumor in my neck and I had to go in for immediate neck surgery to have it removed. When I came out of that surgery, I ended up permanently paralyzed in my upper left bicep with total numbness down my left side. At that time, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was planning on going back to work, but the restrictions that my doctor was putting on me, just my work would not accommodate it, and they ended up firing me, and I had to come up with another way of earning extra income for my family and providing. And this was the godsend, the sailing boat that God gave me. I always say, because I prayed the night before about it, I actually turned the girl down months before and told her no. I did take the products. I lost 40 pounds in 90 days the first time I took them. And that was when we only had TFX gummies and the coffee as a package back then. Now we have some amazing more products that go along with that, and they're even better. And so starting my journey again, but this really changed my life and my family's lives. Within my first month, I was able to make enough to pay our rent, to not become homeless. Within my second month, I was able to go diamond, and it changed everything for us. I was able to start dreaming, and now I am able to be home full time with my kids, and they no longer have to go to daycare, and I'm able to drop anything at any time and go and help them if I need at school, or I'm not missing those important times. And so this business is a godsend, I can tell you that. And it is all about changing lives, because if it wasn't for one girl offering me that opportunity, I would have never done anything like this. I thought it was a scam and wasn't real until I really started watching her. And then when I prayed about it the night before, because I didn't know what I was going to do, I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills, God answered that, and she came back and offered me it again. She didn't stop after the first time, guys. So that's the most important thing I can tell you is don't give up after the first no. Keep going, keep following up, because you never know what life you're going to change. So tonight I was asked to talk about my task list, because Stephanie thinks that I'm really organized. Sometimes I am, sometimes I am not, and I'm a total mess of a mom when my kids and our lives are busy. So with my task list, I do have a very, very detailed task list throughout for my entire month that I try and go through. And not every day am I going to check every mark off of that list, but I try and get the most important ones off of that list each day. And then the next day, whatever I didn't do the day before, I try and do that. If you want my detailed task list, please message Amber Sheehan. She can send that directly to you. But I do have some other little task lists that we do with our team. So, first thing, like, just to give you a little lowdown of like what my day looks like as a mom of four. I wake up at 6:30 every morning, sometimes 5, to get my kids up and ready for school. I go take my older 2 to school first, come back, wake up my other younger ones, and then I get them ready for school. And then I take them to school around 8 o'clock. In between that time, I'll make my coffee and I will video me taking my coffee. Guys, this is so important. Take videos of your day throughout your day. This is content that you can post the next day. You don't have to post it that day, but it's always good to have content for your business. So I'm always videoing my coffee, taking a picture of me and my coffee, or a selfie or something like that that I might need for later on. As I get my kids to school and come back, I actually will sit in my car when I get home. I don't go into my house and get right to work. I actually sit in my car for at least a half hour creating content in Reels for my TikTok page. And then I get a text from Amber usually that says, "Hey, you wanna get on Zoom?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hold on, I'm creating some content." So I'm just making really quick videos, and I usually every Sunday is when I do my big content creation stuff and when I'm editing videos. But those are the days that I'm going and scrolling through TikTok. Now, that people say don't scroll, this is the only time that I do it. And I will scroll and I'll find music that I like for one, trending music that's on my For You pages. Um, or I might notice somebody that posted something that's really funny, that's relevant to us, that I can throw in between a business post and an opportunity post on my reel. And so I just save those quickly. And as I'm throughout the week, as I'm creating my content, I'm just really quickly going through picking which song I want, and I already have my messages ready to go for my TikToks and my reels. And I will create that content until I get the text from Amber saying, "Hey, you want to Zoom?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll get there." So I finish those. I'll go in. If I haven't made my coffee early in the morning, if I never got a chance to, I'll make it quickly, hop on Zoom with her, and we get to work. Usually, first thing in the morning, I go down my friends list, guys. Most important thing I can tell you to do as a green personality, I wasn't green before, I really wasn't, until somebody told me, like, it's necessary for your business because you will be scrolling. You will be, like, not doing the tasks throughout the day. If you, basically, you wanna run your day, you don't wanna let your day run you. So, the first thing I always do at the beginning of every month is I print a new friends list, okay? New friends list. And I'm literally like, it does take time. So once you get it printed, you have to, like, take out the little things and put it in a Word doc, but I have it there, and I go down my list, and my list is about 30, 25 to 30 people on each page. So I complete a page in the morning. And I'm literally that's all I'm doing. I'm going through and sending my host to post messages. And then right after I send those, I interact with 10 people, 10 of my friends' posts. And I'm going to fully interact. You need with Facebook right now, the algorithm is you need to comment 4 to 6 words on their post for it actually to bump them and bump so that they see your stuff. So I'm going through and making sure that I can interact on something. If it's a birthday of their kids, "Oh, happy birthday. Um, I hope they have a blessed day," or something that's really short, sweet, but can interact with them and they're noticing me. Or if I can ask a question, if somebody posted something about a new job or something that they just got, "Well, where are you working at?" I have a couple friends that are looking or something like that. And then usually I'll get a comment back from them or a private message back. As I interact, then the next thing I do is I go send happy birthday messages. Go wish your friends happy birthday. I not only wish them happy birthday, in the like if you click on the bottom part of Facebook and click on birthdays, it will show you all your friends' birthday for that day. You not only send the happy birthday message that it gives you to pre-send, but then I go privately message them and I send a special message that Amber's gonna put in the chat that says, "Happy birthday. Hey, I'm also doing a giveaway. Do you want to get a chance to enter it? All you have to do is put up a post for me. Can I send that post to you?" Something like that. Super simple, straightforward. And you'd be amazed how many people actually put up the post because they want an entry in. Or I also have a sample message. Like if I have samples to sell, that's how I sell the biggest amount of samples on a daily basis, is because I send it to the birthday people and say, "Hey, I'm selling samples and I'll give you a discount. They're normally $30 for 3 days. I'll give them to you for $15." You'd be amazed how many people will buy my coffee samples because of that birthday message. After I send the birthday message, then I'm going through my host to post from the day before, and I'm checking them for comments. If they don't have comments, then I'm bumping or boosting, however your leader wants to call it, them with a before and after or a um or an enrollment photo. Now, guys, if you haven't gotten any enrollments, that's okay. Use a before and after, or your team should be commenting the enrollments in the chats. You can kind of steal those and make your own, and then just give those people FOMO because eventually you're going to get those enrollments. So I like to kind of do like before and after enrollment photo. And then I just rotate between the two until somebody comments. And as I'm going through each of the host to posts and following up with them, I'm also, once I complete that, I'm going and messaging for anyone that told me, yes, they're going to post for me, but never got a post up. I'm going to follow up with the host of post follow up message that just says, hey, I'm putting in some entries right now for the giveaway, and I saw that you didn't get that post up. Were you able to do that right now? And I can get your entry in right away. Something super and simple and easy. And Amber's gonna put all these in there as we go by. After I do that, I make sure that I'm posting in my stories and in my page, either a product post, an opportunity post, or something about my life. Guys, it's not always about the business. We gotta throw in our life in there or something that we like. Our 5 pillars. I don't know if anybody's talked to you about 5 pillars, but choose 5 things that you like to do. So mine are my family, sports, the outdoors, quotes. I do a lot of quotes. Or things that I find off of Pinterest, like cooking stuff is a big one. If you know how to cook, guys, you're gonna kill it. Throw in a recipe here and there with pictures in between your opportunity posts and your product posts, and you'll be amazed how many comments you're gonna get. Or an interaction post. Like, hey, do you prefer your socks on or off at nighttime in bed? I'm having an argument with my husband about it. Or what do you call the end of the bread loaf? You guys, I don't know why people like to comment on these posts. Treat them as a giveaway. Literally, just something like this or that. That's really all you have to do. Hey, help me decide. Do you like this one or this one? And let people give their opinion because it's amazing how many comments you're going to get on that, and just treat it as if it was a giveaway and privately message those people to host a post for you. After I do all this and I've already posted, I go about my day, and usually I'm taking care of my 78-year-old mom as well in the home full time, who has only one lung. So I normally will make sure that she has her coffee or her breakfast, see how she's doing, conversate with her, or if we have appointments, I'm taking her to appointments, and I'm just making sure that I'm really being focused about my day and what I'm doing. In between those times, I might be exercising. That might be my time to exercise or to follow up with my girls. Usually, I'm helping my new team members as a leader. We've got to help those newbies. So I'm teaching and training in between the times that I'm posting and sending out my messages, and then I'm going and checking on my team. In the mornings, I also, in my team chat, I give them tasks to do. I make sure that they're on task and I give them the task list each day. I give them the date so they know the date, and then post to your page, comment this, send 25 host post asks, and then I might at the bottom of it ask them to prove that they got their work done, and just see who needs my help for it throughout the day. And then at lunch, I do the same thing. As Amber puts it in there, that's what I put in today, this morning. I give them tasks to do because some people have to see those tasks. I've found with certain newbies that they just are so confused. It's so much and overwhelming when they first start that we want to give them things that they can do, that they can be productive throughout their day. Or if they need help, messaging them. How's your day going? How did everything go? Are you understanding the content that I sent? Are you understanding what we do on a daily basis yet? If not, okay, let's go over this again. Or giving them a video that they can watch to kind of go over things. But sometimes I'm also giving them posts to put up on their page. After I give this task list, usually I will throw in a post for them to put on their page. I will give them a story slide to put up on their page to help them out because some people just need that help, and or they're at work and they're busy, and I want to help those busy people working because I know I used to do that. I used to, when I was working full time and going to school and doing this in the beginning, it wasn't easy. I had to really prioritize my time. And so for my people that work, I have some girls that work 2 jobs and still have to do this. So sometimes I might be helping them move their customers, things throughout my day. But I just want to make sure that I'm running my days. So every Sunday, I sit down and I plan my days. So I have multiple calendars. I have one that I carry with me at all times. It goes in my purse, guys, on top of my phone because I have ADHD and my memory is crap. Let's just say that. So I always put some like if I put an important note here, it goes in here because God knows I'm gonna forget it. Then when I get home, it goes in my big calendar. I literally have 3 calendars so I don't forget important dates, times, meetings, things like that. So we gotta plan out our week. Know what your week has for you because if you can plan ahead, you know when you have to go to appointments, you know when you have doctor's visits, you know how I know when I have to take the kids to the dentist. Tomorrow, my day consists of making sure my son is at school early so he can take his ACT tests and that I make sure that he has breakfast in the morning this time instead of feeding him at school. I also have therapy with my daughter. So I'm going to make sure I'm getting my tasks done before those happen, but I still carry a notebook with me. My notebook comes everywhere with me. I write down every name of the person that said that they would host a post for me. I highlight them once they say they do and put it up. I write down on another page like all of my I have like a whole I just made a little, and anybody can do this in Google. I made a little document where I can keep track of all my potential customers. When they comment on a host of post, I'm writing their names down. I'm writing what product they wanted, whose post they commented on, and then I'm check marking every time that I follow up. I literally track everything, guys. And the importance of this is over the last 5 years, I can tell you a follow-up for somebody to order from you takes anywhere from 1 to 12 times. 1 to 12 times of following up, sometimes more now because people don't like to check their social media pages. But I track everything. But this comes with me because as I'm waiting for my daughter to go see her therapist, I'm sitting in the waiting room. Guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be posting, I'm going to be messaging, I'm going to be helping my team, and I'm going to be following up because you never know when corporate is going to throw in something, which always happens when I'm on a busy day, mind you, throw in a free bottle of Firm, and then I have to go change our team messages, our follow-ups right away for my team. So these are different the tasks that I do out throughout my day. But enough about me. Let's go to Amber. I'm gonna have Amber talk about her day because she's a lot busier of a mom than I am.
Okay, hey guys, my name is Amber. I am a diamond with the company. I have been doing this for about 4 years now. It has been a whirlwind, let me tell you. When I first joined, I had 3 jobs at the time. I had just had my second son and I was running around like crazy. I never had any time for my family. I was always out working, and one job literally just paid for the babysitter for another job. And that's how it was. And I never had any money for anything. And I actually had gotten messaged from my old boss probably about 6 or 7 times about joining this business. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. It doesn't sound right. That sounds like a scam. And she's like, you know what? Let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. So we got on the phone. We talked about it. I signed up a week later because I had to sell samples in order to be able to pay for it. That was back when they came with samples with the kit. So I had to pre sell all my samples before I even got it so I could join. Um, and then I joined, I got all the way up to Ruby. And then I felt like I was stuck. I decided to go see if the grass was greener somewhere else. It was not. Don't believe anybody else. It's not. This is one of the best companies that I have ever seen. Honestly, the best. But I left for a little bit, came back, and then I got to Diamond, and it has been amazing ever since. But because I have 3 kids, one of them is a stepdaughter, one of them is special needs, I'm always busy. So I have to work this around my schedule. I wake up in the morning and I send out my birthday messages before I even get out of my bed, because the second I get out of my bed, I'm running around for the next 2 hours trying to take care of my kids and getting them ready for the day. Um, once I get them all off to school, that's usually when I make my coffee and then I sit down and try and get some self development done before I hop on Zoom with JB or message her. And then I have to wait usually about 2 hours because she's an hour behind me before we're able to hop on Zoom. And then I'm usually sending my first round of ask messages. I do 10 at a time at the top of the hour because my messenger is very finicky. If I send any more than 10 at a time, that's when I start getting that blocked message. It's not like that for everybody, but that's just how mine works. So I can only send 10 at a time. And then on Mondays, I have to get my son from preschool. He's got half day preschool. And then I take him directly from preschool to therapy. So I leave about 15 minutes before I have to, so I can sit in my car and send my messages. And then by the time I get out, I send my messages again because it's usually about an hour later. And then I drive home and then I wait for my other kids to get home. And it's just a back and forth kind of thing. And then Tuesdays, therapy again, same thing, but this one's a little bit later in the day. And then Wednesdays, I have appointments myself, and I'm just going all over the place. So I have found a way that I can kind of send my messages whenever I need to and just work it around my schedule. A lot of the things I do is the same as Jamie, and we just do it a little bit differently as far as times. But I definitely make sure that I get my messages out every single day because if I don't, then I'm seeing the results of crickets in my inbox because I'm not sending the messages.
That's perfect. Yeah. Um, I love it. And so, everybody's busy, guys. I was actually just going to comment in the chat too. I actually have a separate board too for people who work because I think that this is the biggest thing that I hear is like people don't know how to time block or time schedule you can call it. And this is really important for people who work full time is making sure they're prioritizing their time because we all have 24 hours in a day. It's how we plan our day. And so I have a special board that's called shift systems for my newbies who actually work. And they can go in there and there's four different ones that they have to choose from. So they're never bored and they're never feeling like they're doing the same tasks every day because it kind of like mixes it up for them. But it gives like morning tasks, afternoon tasks, evening tasks, or night shift tasks in one of them. And like if they click on the morning, so when they're at work or before they go to work, and like sometimes I'll have to even sit down with them and be like, for my newbies that actually work full time, sit down with your newbies, ask them, when do you work? Can you give me a detailed schedule and I'll help you work through this? Because you'll get ones that will say, oh, I don't have time for this. Woman, I can show you. Give me 5 minutes to sit on a Zoom with you. You give me, and you have to give me a detailed schedule. I mean, these people that say, "Oh, I go to work at 8 o'clock, and then I get off at 5." No, I want to know exactly what you do. Like, you tell me, like, when do you wake up? Do you eat breakfast? Do you not eat breakfast? Do you have kids to get ready? Do you not, like, how long does that take you in between? And then what time are you leaving for work? How long does it take you to get to work? At work, do you get 15-minute breaks? Do you get an hour lunch? Do you get a 15-minute lunch? Do you get a, like, ask detailed questions to your newbies because this is so important because those 15-minute breaks are super simple to do these task lists. This is what these task lists and shift system lists are meant to do. They're meant to basically say, that first thing in the morning, they wake up at 6:30. Okay, ask them, can you wake up at 5? Could you wake up at 5:30, just a half an hour early? Is that a possibility for you? If they say no, okay, not a problem. What about your first break? Usually, how long is it? If they say 15 minutes, I'll be like, okay, great. That's the first time that you're gonna do your daily task. I want you to go to my shift systems. I want you to pick one of those boards and I want you to click on the morning. Basically, in that 15 minutes, I do want you to take your own break. Take 5 minutes to yourself, but then I want you to take the remaining 10 and I want you to go through every task list that's in that morning one. Do it for 2 minutes each task that you can get done, and it doesn't mean that they have to do all of them and like, send all the host to post ask messages, but hey, if they're getting out 5 in 10 minutes, great. you got something accomplished that day that's towards your business. Then at lunch, they take, if they have a half hour break for lunch, 15 minutes is for them to actually eat. 15 minutes could be for them to go into their task list and just go folder by folder and have them time it. 2 minutes each folder and get as much done as they possibly can. You'll be amazed how much your team will get done if they do this. Okay. And yeah, if you guys want that, you message me directly and I can send you that board um to you guys. But um but that's how we get through our task list. You just have to basically just plan ahead, guys. Let you run your day. Don't let your day run you. Um Another thing that Stephanie wanted me to go over was projections. Because I don't trust our system. I love it. Yes, yes, it's great that they gave us the updated system in our app, but it is not accurate, guys. And I can tell you this because I know for a fact, because I am spot on, and Stephanie will agree with me that I have always been spot on with my projections, and there's a reason why. To do projections, and you want to start this early as a newbie. Start teaching them the minute that they get their first distributor, the minute that they get their first customer, because you want them to write them down. I literally, and this is the biggest part of my month, is the first of the month. The first of the month, I get a brand new notebook. I actually have two this month because I'm running out of paper. But I get a brand new notebook usually, or I use the remaining paper and I write every distributor. And then I write down every active subscription customer that's it has an order underneath of them. So basically, like I have Vicky. Vicky, underneath her is Kathy. Kathy has no customers, but she's running her auto shipment. So I put what date the system tells me her auto shipment is about to run. It's on the 8th. And then how much BV it is. And by her name, I'm going to add that total up and put it by her name. And I do that for every distributor. So I go one by one. It takes a lot of time to do this, the bigger your team gets. But I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it because you're going to know ahead of time when you decline. I know the morning of declines because every morning, the first thing that I do when I sit down with Amber, like I usually post and stuff first, but the first thing I do is I'm literally going through my projections. I'm literally going through and I'm literally checking the date. Okay, what's the date today? Today is the 10th. So I literally go through who's running on the 10th and I'll go customer by customer, distributor by distributor in this little notebook really quickly and find everyone that's supposed to run on the 10th. And then I search them in the back office. You go into eSuite and you search in the search bar and you type in the person's first name is all you have to do. And it will pull them up, click on their name, go see if it ran and it was accepted. Super simple. I mark them off that it was accepted. If it was declined, I write decline right by their name, and then I am immediately messaging the distributor that they're under and whoever signed them. And I'm saying, hey, please follow up with this person. They declined. And then I'm updating my charts immediately so that my team is updated on their charts as well. They have now gotten into the habit that all of my leaders do this, and they all can give me projections at the beginning of the month, and I just double check. It is tedious, but that literally the first of the month, that's all I'm doing. The first day of the month is all going into writing my projections. And every day, every morning, I'm checking those who's declining, because then I know exactly where I'm moving volume. My girls message me to move volume the minute that they get an API message, an extra order. If they get a new enrollment, they're asking me where to move. I have to know as a leader where to move my volume, and you can't do that without projections, guys. It's very, very important. And I'm always sending them to Stephanie, even if she doesn't check them all the time. I'm always making sure I'm updating my leader too, to let them know, like, hey, we're on track to hit this goal or not, or we're working towards this goal to get it. But I know where my volume needs to go and I know which boxes are going to close. And if somebody declines the month prior, we'll still put them on the list, but we put them as a decline and we don't count them in the total overall volume for the next month. Because if they decline again, that hurts us and we have to replace that volume. So we'll put their name down, and if we can fix their decline, that would be great. Which Amber's going to go over how we fix declines because I have my girls message immediately the same day.
Yes, I'm gonna say one more thing though about projections. I do it slightly differently. So I write all like the distributor names and then I put numbers for whoever's order is going through. And then on a separate calendar, I put on the day the name and how much is gonna run. If it runs, I highlight it. If it doesn't, I circle it. And then that way I know, hey, I need to go see what's going on here. But for declines, as soon as I see a decline in the system, I actually go into the back into their account because for all of us, we use the same password for all the customer accounts that we set up. So I go into their account and see if I can run it myself. If it does not run, then I go ahead and send them this message that I'm going to put in the chat here. But you always want to check and see if you can get it to run first because a lot of the times these run right around midnight central time for us, whereas with their banks it doesn't usually drop the money into their account until like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., depending on where they live. So you always want to try and do that first and then send them the message and say, hey, did you get this in the mail or new card or whatever? If they do not respond to that, I usually message them the next day and send them something very similar like, hey, did you get my last message? Trying to update this so we don't have a lapse in your products. And I just continue to message them every couple of days until either they tell me they're not going to order anymore or they give me their information or they block me, whichever one happens first. But that's just how I kind of deal with declines. And then that way, usually they get back to me pretty quickly and I get that fixed.
Yeah, it's perfect, and that's exactly what we want, and more than half the time, guys, I can tell you, like, usually just rerunning the order before you even message them, we've saved hundreds of volume just by doing that alone because they're ch it literally, the system runs at late at night, and their money the banks don't deposit through until early in the morning. Um, but then we're also, again, messaging people for API messages for extra orders at the end of every month, um, or towards the end of every month. So that's another way, like those people that declined, we can also try and get them to order something different. Maybe they just didn't want that product and they're just not telling us, but I'll get random people just logging in and they might not be talking to me, but I explain at the bottom like, "Hey, I'm going for a huge promotion this month. We're giving a free bottle of Firm with any order over $50. And if yeah, I can put in the order for you, or you can, log into your account and put the product in there, add any promo code that they might have, and you'll be amazed how many people will go in and actually order from you." So these are just a couple of the ways that we can be successful in our business, guys, is by doing our task list on a daily basis. It doesn't mean that you have to do every task that's there. There are some that are more important. I'm sure Amber can attest to this too. Like follow-ups are very important. Sending our host to post ask messages are very important. I personally do not go to bed until I have 5 host to post up every night. I might not shout them out in my team chat because I'm really busy as a mom, but my team knows they can see I'm working because they see me posting every day. They see me messaging every day. I'm checking in on them every day. Just because somebody doesn't message you all the time doesn't mean that they're not doing their job. Sometimes you have to ask them as a leader too for accountability. Sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, Amber, show me how many host posts you got up today, or show me how many messages you sent." And sometimes that shows that they're accountable, and she'll send me her list, because if she was really quiet in the chat, maybe something happened throughout her day. I mean, her son just got hurt and had to go to the ER the other day. She messaged me personally for that. Sometimes as you get closer to that person, they're more aware of being able to do that on your team. Sometimes when they first start out, they're not though. So we've got to, as leaders, reach out to our new team members and ask them, say, "Hey, do you need help doing this? Do you understand why we do this?" Things like that. So I hope that all will help you. Again, if you have any questions or want my task list or any of the wording that we use, please go ahead and message me if you can. If not, send me a friend. You might have to send me a friend request, and then I can send that to you. Or Amber has it. Mandy has it. She has my boards. there's certain people that have my boards too that can get you that information. So I hope that all helped. I hope you have a great evening. I know we're ending shortly, but hopefully you guys can get some tasks done today. And just remember 5 host posts is all you need. Just start out small and just keep those wins coming. Okay. Hope you all have a great evening. Talk to you guys soon.